Here's AthsTV, Cam Luke, Maddy Hogan, Don Elgin, and I'll tell you this, huge 9 months. Of course, the World Para-Athletics Championships is what we're talking about, only days away, but Tokyo 2020 right around the corner. And before we get into our athletes to watch at this particular championships, it's such an it's all compressed in less than 12 months, and you've both been there in different aspects. It must be such an exciting time, and it must make it easy to train.
Well, the countdown's begun and you've got something to work towards now, so I think that's always made it exciting.
Especially when you pass the big milestones. When you pass the last one, it's like, the 100 days out or they're the ones that you just go, right, it's next year, it's now. You go game on.
Exactly.
All right, a huge amount of athletics chances here for the Australians. I'm going to start with you. Maddy, who are you most looking forward to? Who are you looking forward to this time?
Well, being a javelin thrower, I'm looking forward to seeing what Jayden Sawyer can do. So having trained hard with Coach Mike Barber, he's worked hard, he's become a really good, technically good thrower. So I think that's why I'm looking forward to watching Jayden and see what he can. I think he's gold at the last World Championship, so it'll be interesting to see if he can hold on to that one.
Maddy, tell me, when you're watching an athlete compete, are you looking out for the technical side of things? Are you looking out for the competitor when they really switch on? What takes it for you?
Well, it's fun. I look out for the technical stuff, which clearly I didn't do nearly as much as I should have, having been a thrower.
Right, it's easy to do that from here, like the lovely confines of indoors.
Absolutely. Maybe I should have had a career in biomechanics.
Yeah, well,
I'll tell you what, more successful than less ACL ruptures. I'll tell you that.
When you would have been a lot more comfortable, I'm sure. The beauty about when we see these guys, like a lot of these guys will have time training together as well, so different camps around the place. You've got Michael Roeger. I mean, this guy is a phenomenon in terms of, we spoke before about Angie Bello getting better and better.
Absolutely.
To come in and to be able to master the art, and this is where I really love about where para-athletics is at the moment, is we've got a lot of athletes that actually train with their able-bodied counterparts.
Yep.
They're competing on that same level and pushing each other. And Roeger is one of those blokes who wears his heart on his sleeve. So no matter where he finishes, you have got everything from him. And
Absolutely.
I love that about him.
And he's run some good races, and I touched briefly on leadership in the team, and Roeger is absolutely a leader, and he's spent a bit of time training the high life up at Flagstaff. I think they were based for a little while with a bit of altitude training. And he's had I think Jaryd Clifford probably be early 20s. He's had young Jaryd training with him, and I think Jaryd's going to run a good comp.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to at the end of the comp, particularly when the microphone's there, because it just becomes real, doesn't it? You get to see people that they've either nailed it and they're jumping out of their skin like, look what I've done, or they're just going, what's just happened? And the preparation's the key for us. I mean, these guys, they're doing the training, so we should get the results. So I think the one thing that is going to catch people out, if there's one thing to catch them out that we haven't really refined here, it's the heat. The heat over there, when I think about how the heat affects different athletes, Vanessa Low, for example, a double leg amputee, those legs have got to stay on somehow.
Yep.
So for a lot of the above knee amputees, it's suction, so you put your stump into your socket. But of course, when you start to sweat up, which is inevitable in a place like Dubai, in any decent heat, you've then got that slip factor in there. And being able to, can you just imagine trying to run down there, and you've got all this work and energy gone into being able to hit the board and take off in long jump, and you've still got to worry about, is my leg dry enough? Is my leg going to stay on?
Exactly, is it going to stay on?
It's a real concern. I mean, we've seen problems with athletes over the years where their legs haven't stayed on. I mean, it's great footage.
Oh,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, great TV.
They hop home or something. But I tell you what, it can stuff up an athlete's preparation, though, that heat, what they haven't prepared for if they haven't.
Absolutely, no, I can't agree more. Having spent a bit of time in Qatar competing over there, you start to do different things like training at different times of the day, and not going outside, and that can really play with you. So that's where you touched on routine, and I think that's, in this circumstance over there in Dubai, that'll be key to a lot of good competition.
What about What about the athletes, the wheelies in particular, that may, like one extreme is sweating up and you're sweating up a lot, the other extreme where you can't cool your body down because of part of the disability means that you might not sweat.
For the quads, absolutely. And I've seen it firsthand on the bus ride back to the hotel, you know, buckets of ice being required to cool them down. So it's all these external factors that we don't really think about training here at home that you have to take into consideration when you're on the ground in Dubai.
And you got somebody like Maddy de Rozario, who's got 3 events, big events, and you know there's the preparation time in between getting out there on the start line where you've got to have your body back to, you know, and that's being back ready to go is one thing for your next race, but there's also making it through, you know, the heats, the semis, into the final. So it's going to be tough.
Absolutely.
It's going to present a whole lot of challenges, and I cannot wait to see how our athletes handle it.
Great viewing. That'll be great viewing.
What else is great viewing as well? One of the most distinguishable athletes, I think, of this championships, and in fact almost in every day, is Jaryd Perris. The White Tiger.
The White Tiger. Hey, you can't not be excited watching this guy go. He's like a bat out of hell. He is so exciting to run and can go too, can't he? I mean, you can't miss him. That's the beauty about Chad. But he takes everything in his stride. He's got a great stride. And I think the other thing about Chad too is he brings a level of excitement with him when he competes, which is, I don't know about you, but I asked you about the technical side. I'm looking for the entertainer. I know World Champs is not where you necessarily want to be entertaining, but somebody who, you know, and sprinters, they're like that.
Oh,
they're a sexy bunch of wannabes, aren't they? Like seriously,
they're entertainers.
They are entertainers. That's what's great about the 100 metres. So look out the White Tiger, and anyone lining up beside him, I reckon he'll give him a little roar before he goes.
Can't wait for it. Only a couple of days away. And you won't miss a beat as well. Jump on Athletics Australia, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Quick break. Plenty more coming your way on AthsTV next.